So now that we've created our new sheet metal part, placed it in the assembly, and added a few flanges, we now need to add a few more features to finish out this part. We'll start a new sketch on this inside face, and then using the Project Geometry tool, we'll project the axle coming out of the gear motor. Starting the Circle tool, we'll place a circle at the center point of our projected geometry. We'll place the center point and then enter a value of 9.5 millimeters. Placing our circle, we'll now want to cut this out. Unlike in regular modeling where we might extrude this feature, in sheet metal parts we'll want to do a cut operation. We'll select the two closed profiles and notice that the Extends option is by default selected for the thickness of the part. We'll start another 2D sketch, and we'll select again the inside face of our sheet metal bracket. From the marking menu, we'll select the Project Geometry tool, and we'll select this other shaft that will end up being a press fit into our sheet metal bracket. We'll finish our sketch, and then select the Hole command. We'll select the center point of our projected geometry, and for our hole, we want it to be a through hole. We'll set the diameter for 3.98 millimeters, and for the depth, you notice that the thickness parameter has already been selected. We'll select OK to create our hole. Next, we want to create a couple of tapped holes for mounting this bracket to the assembly body. We'll select the flange face and then start a new 2D sketch. Selecting the Project Geometry tool again, we'll select references for the two screw holes. Next, we can exit this sketch and then start the Hole command. We'll select our hole centers and then set the properties for this hole to be a tapped hole. On the thread type, we'll select a metric thread, and we'll set the thread size to 2.5. We only want the tapped hole to go through the flange, so for the depth, we'll select the thickness parameter. Selecting OK creates our tapped holes. We need to create two more tapped holes to mount the gear motor to the bracket. We'll start a new 2D sketch and select on the main face of this sheet metal part. Starting the Project Geometry tool, we'll select the two mounting holes for the gear motor. And then exit the sketch. Starting the Hole command again, we'll select the projected hole centers and use the same options for a 2.5 millimeter tap with a distance through of the thickness parameter. Finally, we'll start the corner round command and add a 1 millimeter corner round to all the outside edges of the sheet metal bracket. Unlike in regular modeling where you might use a fillet command, in sheet metal parts we use the corner round command. When creating sheet metal parts, try to use the sheet metal commands as much as possible in order to create a sheet metal part that will be flat patterned correctly. This completes the sheet metal project. Make sure to save all parts and assemblies before closing.